Okay, everybody, it's me, Albatross. Welcome back to part 2 of this amended complaint by Miss Ashley Parham, I think, or Parham or Panham. Okay, so briefly, where I left off, just to the point where we're at now, they had got done raping her. P. Diddy had tried to put an IUD in her. Christina Coram told him that he couldn't because it had been compromised already. So then he raped her with a remote. A few other people joined in, including Odell Beckham Jr. And then at this point, P. Diddy and P. Diddy's mom trying to offer her money to basically shut up and everything. So that's where we're at right now in this lawsuit. Okay, and this is a really long complaint. I didn't realize this complaint was this long. It's very long. And no, I haven't made up my mind if I believe it or not, guys. I mean, I obviously believe P. Diddy is a monster. I'm just saying, I know, like, people like P. Diddy have these tactics, right? Where they'll go around and put out a bunch of bullshit, a bunch of bull crap, so that way no one knows what's true or not. That's all I'm saying. So we just need to keep an open mind as I'm reading through. On both parts. Okay. Diddy then made further threats that he had gotten off from bigger crimes than this and referred to Tupac again, further antagonizing plaintiff. And P. Diddy really doesn't like it when people mention Tupac. I think that's actually been confirmed by a bunch of other people. And then at this point, Big Homie CC then turned to Diddy and pulled his gun on him, asking him to repeat what he said in reference to Tupac. As the two of them were exchanging words, plaintiff, and keep in mind, before this, she had, earlier in the complaint, she had said that Big Homie CC had a live feed recording of her sister or one of her relatives' homes. So, that was alleged earlier. And if you watch my other video. Okay. Where were we? As the two of them were exchanging words, plaintiff went behind Big Homie CC, where he seemingly began to protect plaintiff. Big Homie CC then advanced to Diddy, questioning him over the comments he made about Tupac. And now, I don't know, like, Big Homie CC, from the interviews I've watched of him, unless, like, he's just a really, really good actor and is putting on a really good front, he does not seem like the type that would get that upset over a comment made by Tupac. But I could be wrong. I don't know Big Homie CC very well. Maybe he, like, really, really respects Tupac. I don't know. I wasn't there. This is what the lawsuit says. Okay. During this commotion, a neighbor directly across the street came outside and peered into the backyard and asked what all the commotion was about. Big Homie CC then pointed the gun at the neighbor and instructed him to mind his business and return to his residence. And look, if this is true, Big Homie CC is going to have to answer for this if this is true. I'm just saying what I've seen from him, it just didn't seem like that kind of personality. I mean, I'm not trying to be naive or anything, because I know people act pretty good anyone can act. So, let me continue. Okay. So, okay, yeah, and then the gun went off, not far behind. Okay, sorry, I missed a spot. Returned to his residence. Big Homie CC then turned the gun back on Diddy. Plaintiff, not far behind Big Homie CC, tried to grab Big Homie CC's hand that had the gun. Well, that's pretty dumb. The gun then went off and hit a hill behind Shane's residence. Diddy then ran up the back stone stairs near the hill in the backyard towards where Christina Coram, Shane, and Brandy were. Plaintiff charged towards Diddy, moving the concealed knife from her left hand to her right hand in pursuit of Diddy. Damn. See, I didn't remember hearing about this part of the lawsuit. I'm glad I printed this out. Plaintiff then pushed Diddy from behind while on the stone stairs outside, causing him to fall with... Wait. Plaintiff then pushed Diddy from behind while on the stone stairs outside, causing him to fall with his back to... Okay, that doesn't make any sense. That does not make any sense. Unless that's a typo and they meant to say that he fell forward. Plaintiff then raised knife in a rage from the events that just transpired with the intent of driving the knife into Diddy's back. Okay, that must be what they meant, that he fell forward. Okay. Yeah, I was about to say, that didn't make sense. Okay. Must have meant that he fell forward on the steps. And then, when plaintiff went to go stab Diddy in the back, he turned around and began pleading for his life. Plaintiff, shocked now to see Diddy acting as a victim, had a moment of clarity, then turned and ran down the outdoor stone staircase back out to the backyard to escape. Diddy then chased plaintiff down the stairs. Okay, so plaintiff turned around and ran. I thought she meant Diddy ran. Okay. Diddy then chased plaintiff down the stairs and attempted to push her, but she was already at the bottom of the stairs and gained her footing and wielding the knife at Diddy, grazing his abdomen. Hearing the commotion, Christina Coram and Brandy emerged, and defendant Christina Coram then began administering first aid to defendant Diddy for the injuries caused by plaintiff. Plaintiff tried to make a quick dash for the exit, but was thwarted by another defendant, Doe. Okay, so I guess plaintiff tried to leave, but was thwarted. After a period of time, plaintiff was able to abscond from defendant Doe due to the first aid commotion with Diddy and was able to run down the street. So apparently she grazed his abdomen where she actually like cut him or something. That's interesting. Interesting to note. That should be, I'm just saying, it's an interesting thing to point out. That seems like something that could be possibly proven. Possibly. I mean, considering this was just a couple years ago. Well, a couple years ago, shoot. Like, 7 years ago? Something like that. Anywho, I'm going to continue. Once plaintiff made it onto the street, she began yelling loudly for someone to call the police. Defendant Doe, who had now caught up with plaintiff, advised plaintiff he was an undercover cop. What? To this day, plaintiff is unsure of the truth or falsity of that statement. Wait, what? I mean, honestly, that's something else that would be provable. I wonder if she's one of the witnesses. I don't think so, unless they've like updated it. I need to like look back into the criminal case and see who exactly is on it. Because let's keep in mind that this lawsuit was first filed with Tony Busby. I do remember that much. The remote control lawsuit was filed with Tony Busby. Damn, Jay-Z must have really went after him if he was just like giving these, or maybe he just needed help with some of these cases. I don't know, but damn. Okay. The same neighbor then again emerged from his residence asking what was transpiring. Just as plaintiff was attempting to answer, gunshots began fired in plaintiff's direction. Plaintiff fled to a car near where the neighbor was also taking cover and lost sight of defendant Doe. Plaintiff then heard SUV screeching and speeding leaving the residence. Plaintiff then entered the home of the neighbor who informed her that he had already called the police. Plaintiff informed the neighbor that it was Sean Combs who had raped her and shot at them, but the neighbor was unaware who defendant Diddy was. What? How could the neighbor be unaware? Maybe they're really old or something. I don't know. It's interesting. Shortly thereafter, a sheriff, or unless they were lying, that could be too. Shortly thereafter, a sheriff from Contra Costa Sheriff's Department arrived. Contra Costa Sheriff's Department. Sorry if I got that wrong. Arrived at the neighbor's home. Plaintiff identified the person who arrived at the neighbor's home, posing as a Contra Costa sheriff, was a defendant Pelletier. Well, wait a minute. Hold up. But Pelletier, I thought he was a cop. Okay. Plaintiff told, I don't know how to pronounce the name, Pelleter. That's what I'm going to say, Pelleter. Plaintiff told Pelleter, believing he was a sheriff from a local, okay, well, maybe he just wasn't a police there. Believing he was a sheriff from a local police, she had been violently gang raped by Diddy and others, and that she did not have her clothes, phone, purse, car keys, or cell phone. Defendant Pelleter, falsely posing as the Contra Costa sheriff, told plaintiff and the neighbor that they had received several noise complaints prior to the neighbor's call and instructed plaintiff to find a way to get home. What? Well, wait a minute. She just told him that she was gang raped. Well, I guess he's posing, so. The, quote, sheriff, defendant Pelleter, did not offer to take plaintiff home, nor did he call for emergency services, including an ambulance, nor any offer to take plaintiff to the hospital, nor any offer to help plaintiff recover her clothes or effects from defendant Shane's residence. Man, this is awful. If even, like, some of this is true, like, what a freaking horrible experience to go to a guy's house in good faith who has cancer. Maybe. I don't even know if that's true. Help him with his medications, and then crap. All this happened. Let's see. Where was I? I'm sorry. Okay. The Contra Costa sheriffs have confirmed that a police report was made that night. Oh, shoot. Oh, damn. That says a lot. If there is a police report made from that night, there's a good chance this actually happened, guys. I mean, listen, I'm still keeping an open mind here that Agents of Chaos and all that mess. And plus, this could be something that they deny once they go to court. Who knows? They haven't gone to court yet. So, just keep that in mind. But still, it's interesting that they're putting that in here. You know what would be really telling? You know what would be really telling is if this lawsuit isn't heard until after the criminal case. That would be very telling, in my opinion. In my opinion. Okay. But, yeah. I might try to call Contra Costa Sheriff and see if I can find out myself. Because honestly, it's hard to trust anybody anymore. I might call him myself. Anywho. Back to the task at hand. The Contra Costa sheriffs have refused to release any... Here we go. Have refused to release any information related to the complaint on the night in question to any source despite numerous attempts made via Freedom of Information Act. So, apparently they just confirmed it, but they couldn't. How could a lawyer not get this? That doesn't make any sense. This is supposed to be public information. Plaintiff observed defendant Pelleter hand something to the neighbor, what looked to be an envelope, at the door as defendant Pelleter exit. The neighbor went to a nearby room, quickly returned empty-handed. Plaintiff believes the envelope contained cash. Well, there you go. That's probably why they said they didn't know who P. Diddy was. Probably like, what, you know, like when you're, I don't, who? Gee, golly, I don't know. I just live here. I don't know what's going on. You know, that kind of thing. The neighbor offered to let plaintiff sleep on his couch. Wait a minute. Okay. The neighbor offered the plaintiff to sleep on his couch so she could figure out a way to get her possessions and get home, but plaintiff declined, obviously, uneasy and unsure about the exchange with the police and the neighbor and the police, and only remained at the neighbor's residence for a short period of time once defendant Pelleter posing as law enforcement, left. Damn. That's messed up. Oh, dropped my pen. That is messed up, guys. That is so messed up. Plaintiff then went back to defendant Shane's residence, where she found the door open and her clothes readily accessible in his... I'd be too scared to fucking go in there. Defendant Shane then emerged as if nothing had transpired and offered for the plaintiff to stay at his residence while she slept it off. That's just how DJ Academics acted to that one girl. You remember that video that went viral about a year ago, where it was like this girl screaming and crying, and obviously upset and distraught. And he's basically just saying, well, you wanted to. Like, you guys remember that? It's giving those kind of vibes. Like totally gaslighting her. That is so typical, right? Typical. When in doubt, just gaslight everybody around you, I guess. Okay. Let's see. Plaintiff asked for her purse and her keys, but Shane told her she shouldn't leave in her condition, and plaintiff, catatonic and in the state of shock and disbelief of the events that transpired, stayed at Shane's home while Shane left the home. I mean, okay, I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt here. If everyone around you, including the police, are gaslighting you so much, and it's not like you want something like this to happen, like, I could totally see, like, a trick of the mind, like, maybe I'm just overreacting, right? Especially, like, a young girl, like, I'm, as a young girl, you're very easily manipulated. Well, as a young man, too. But, like, when you're young, you're very easily manipulated. And especially when people of authority, people all around you are gaslighting you like that. I mean, I could see that. You gaslighting yourself. I could see it. I mean, call me crazy, but I could see it happening. So, like I said, guys, it's not like women want this crap to happen to them. Okay? All right. In a daze, plaintiff returned home and tried to make sense of what happened to her. On March 26, 2018, plaintiff contacted her primary doctor and asked for an HIV and STD test in fear of possibly having contracted a disease from her violent rape. That's scary. That is so scary. Plaintiff tried to continue her life as she felt she wouldn't be believed, as plaintiff already had told what she believed to Contra Costa Sheriff's defendant, the fake sheriff, that Diddy rapes her to no avail. Further, plaintiff was under the impression if she did continue to say that Diddy's name in relation to her assault, she would not be believed and her family would be in danger. I mean, just look at how Jay-Z's been acting. Like, if that's even like a fraction of how P. Diddy's been acting, it's wild. Like, even if Jay-Z or Diddy were innocent, like, even let's pretend for a moment that they are in fact innocent of all of this stuff. It is absolutely insane to send private detectives, to send, to harass people who have mental health issues at that. Don't forget that. A lot of these girls have mental health issues from this horrible things that have happened to them. And they're sending random people who they don't know to their houses alone at night. It's a tactic they do. It's a tactic. They love to, has anyone ever gotten like one of those summons for court? They love to just show up, like on a Saturday or a Sunday when you're chilling, not bothering nobody, minding your own damn business, and then they come. Sorry guys, I'm walking. I'm going inside. But yeah, they come and then they knock on your door and stuff and like nothing, and then they come in your house and then they start talking to you like they own the house, and then like normal people would tell them get the hell out. But like if you got like severe issues like that, or if you're in the middle of a lawsuit like this, You could be very easily fooled by these people, and it's disgusting. It's really disgusting. Seemingly mere days, maybe even the day before plaintiff's vicious rape, defendant Shane had miraculously began driving a new car. Plaintiff believes this was payment by Diddy for setting up plaintiff to be raped. I mean, which wouldn't be out of the question if he had like this small apartment, like she said, and he was like a restaurant manager or whatnot, and he suddenly has a brand new car. It would look a little suspicious, considering the circumstances. Plaintiff went to the hospital, where the hospital conducted several tests on plaintiff, including a rape kit, ultrasound, x-rays. Additionally, plaintiff was given IV fluids to stabilize her vitals, as she was in a severe weakened state from being unable to eat and losing a substantial amount of weight since the rape occurred. While at the hospital, plaintiff told members of her treatment team about her horrific assault, and then they contacted Walnut Creek Police. Walnut Creek Police showed up to plaintiff's hospital room and took a statement regarding her assault. Plaintiff only told Walnut Creek Police about the assault from defendants Shane and Doe. And plaintiff believes her statements made to Walnut Creek Police while at the hospital was captured by body camera footage. I mean, it should have been if it wasn't. It definitely should have been. Plaintiff further believes her statements made on March 23rd, immediately after the vicious assault, where plaintiff named Diddy directly and by name may be captured by body camera footage, but upon determining the sheriff was defendant Pelliter, does not believe it was captured, as he was a co-conspirator. Now, like I said, I'm pretty sure this guy is a police. He's just definitely not a Contra Costa police. Okay. Plaintiff filed a report to the Orlando Police Department on April 17th, 2018, but was too afraid to name Diddy as one of her assailants. Yeah, no wonder. During this report, because as soon as you do, people will be like, yeah, sure, okay. During this report, plaintiff provided her clothing to the police from the night of the assault, but they only retained her underwear. To date, the underwear was never returned, and plaintiff believes no investigation ever commenced. I'm sure it didn't. Plaintiff sought assistance from therapists in May 2018, one of which tried to have her therapy appointments covered by a victim's compensation fund, which was rejected because plaintiff was told no law enforcement agency had opened and acted. Oh my God. So they confirmed the police report. They confirmed it, and she had all those tests and everything. But so what do they have to say about this, I wonder? Allie Carter is right. This really does go down. The tentacles stretch deep here. Probably gotten in the hands of one of those Freemasons, I'm sure. Subsequently thereafter, plaintiff asked police for a copy of her report from the Walnut Creek Police Department on July 19, 2018. Plaintiff was provided a letter from the Walnut Creek Police Department stating that it was, quote, "Oh my God, unable to furnish this information as it is confidential and not subject to public release." It is her fucking police report. What? Despite plaintiff not being the public and being the victim. That is wild. That is so wild. In March 2024, plaintiff was re-traumatized by all of the events surrounding Diddy, including the several civil complaints filed against him, as well as the raid on Diddy's California and Florida residences. Plaintiff called Contra Costa sheriffs again in hopes of renewing her previous complaint and amending it to ensure Diddy's name was included. Plaintiff received no response from the sheriff. They totally failed her. This had to be intentional. It had to be. Plaintiff in July 2024 then emailed the chief of the sheriff's office regarding her complaint, lack of investigation, and how she was treated by the initial responding officer. Plaintiff then later received a call back from a detective, but then nothing further. Plaintiff then began seeking legal counsel for her claims, ultimately being referred to undersign for representation. So she had been trying to get all this stuff together before she actually filed this. Wow. Undersigned counsel also attempted to get a copy of the 2018 police report from Contra Costa Sheriff's, but was told that they would not provide the report or any other information without a subpoena. The freaking nerve of them, right? The nerve of them. Okay, and this is where Ashley Parham's story ends, for the moment at least, in this lawsuit, and then it picks up on plaintiffs John and Jane Doe. And I'll be back tomorrow to read the rest of it. Thank you guys for listening.